concept is called a spiral, and what's happening is, I would personally, I mean, other people I'm sure would say different things. I would call this part of a family of moves. You can spiral all the way in, right? And that goes the whole way. And what you're doing is you're going handle to the head of the poi. And you'll notice one way is more intuitive than the other. For at least for most people, it's true, where going from underhand feels a little bit more than intuitive than going from overhand. But if that's not the case for you, that's okay. And obviously you can do it with either hand. Now, if you only go, so there's the spiral, there's a wrap, right? So you've done wraps before, like last week we did this on the leg where you wrapped and it was part of the poi wrapped around the leg. You could do it around the arm, right? And you'll notice it's the cord wrapping around, but then there's taps. So wraps and slaps. The tap is just the tip, for the second, just to see how it feels. It's not the whole way around, but it's just the tip, just a little bit. And you don't get the full wrap when you do that, right? Okay, well that's pretty fun what you're doing there, because what you're doing there could actually lead to these where you're, wait, let me try and do that better. What you're doing there can lead to these where you're going just the tip, just around the tip, just a little bit, and then you're slapping back. So if we looked at that one, which is actually a version of the move that we're doing, but a slightly different version. So the spiral, you go around your hand the whole way, head to hand, right? But what you just did was you went where you did tip to hand and tip to hand. So it was like this. If I could stop it in midair, it's like you did this, right? And then you reverse the direction, and then you went that way, and then that way, and then that way. So same concept, it's just you don't go all the way where the two hands are together. One hand lines up with the head, where it's tip to hand, right? You come around, tip to hand, and tip to hand, and tip to hand, and tip to hand. Let's start with you using your left hand. So this particular combination is where you do the tap back and then you change direction. But what you'll notice is, look at how far apart my hands are. Wait, look at how far apart my hands are, right? They have to be the distance of the poi, roughly, right? Wrap up your right poi. We're gonna use your left poi. So with your left poi, you're gonna go like this, and then I want you to think about this because your hands have to be roughly this far apart, right? Yes. So this is the distance. So I'm holding it with both hands. Yes, that's the distance, okay? So when your poi is coming up from underneath, you're gonna tap it back, and then you're gonna tap it down, back from the top. And if your other poi is getting in the way like mine is, you could just do it like this. But don't do it on your arm because that's not how you're gonna do the move. How you're gonna do the move is that it's gonna go around the hand, and you're gonna hit the hand. You're gonna hit the hand. You're gonna hit the hand every time. You're gonna hit the hand. Hit the hand, not the wrist, the hand. Because you have to line up the two poi. The poi are gonna have to be close together. So you can take off the other poi completely like I did, and that can be helpful for now. So we're just gonna go from underhand and overhand and underhand and slap back, overhand, slap back, underhand. I call it a tap back. It's, and you'll notice if I come closer to the camera, you'll notice I'm going around the outside of the hand. Okay, and now let's switch hands so that you're doing it with your dominant hand, which in theory should be easier, so no picking up that second poi necessary at this point. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now, if we try and do both poi, let's see what happens now that you have a sense of what the individual motion is. Now, it's much more confusing when you've got two poi for so many reasons. One reason is they can tangle. So one thing that's helpful is to remember this is in same direction, split time. Your left hand is going to tap on top, so I'm mirroring you. Your left hand will tap on the top of the right hand, and the right hand will tap on the bottom of the left hand. And they'll do it at the same time. So what you do is you jump both poi slightly, okay, remember they have to be in the same direction, slightly closer together, tap and reverse. Tap and reverse. So jump them closer, tap, reverse. Jump them closer, tap, reverse. Jump them closer, tap, reverse. Tap, reverse. Tap, reverse. And I'm making this look a lot easier than I think it actually is. So if I did it with less precision and I like stopped pretending I was competent at it, this is what it would maybe look like more, right? It would look more like something like this, where one of them maybe hits, but the other one keeps going, right? Happens on a regular basis when you're first learning it. That's very normal. Or you have like a wonky angle with one of them and the other one hits, which is why one wraps and the other one doesn't. So you have to aim with both of them at the same time. So now you need to consider the spatial element of it. Right now, you're doing all of the work with your left arm. And what you did with your left arm was you moved your left arm to the right arm, but you're moving it too close. And they both have to change directions the same way. So now you're in your clockwise, which means the left one will hit the top of the right one, right? So when you're in clockwise, the left hits the top of the right one and the right hits the bottom of the left one, like that. Then you should come out in counterclockwise. When you're in counterclockwise, the right will hit the top of the left one and the left will hit the bottom of the right one.